welcome back to the mat for another mind mat video, and today we'll be working with reducing the symptoms of anxiety with very easy, nice little flow that takes some of the asanas that are associated with the root chakra, which is being very kind of grounded, and combining that also with a few little twists and inversions or folds. Quite simple, and of course that is nice to stimulate the vagus nerve, which is really important for our mental and emotional well-being. That nerve goes from the gut to various organs into the brain, and again I remind you that we have two other significant wirings, the sympathetic and the parasympathetic, which unfortunately when we are in anxiety mode, the sympathetic nervous system, which is your fight-flight one, tends to take over. Now, make sure you're comfortable. Remember there, any of the movements, positions, asanas that I introduced to you today, never ever do anything that's uncomfortable. Never push yourself into a position where it feels awkward. Always be kind to yourself and your body. You can miss any of those movements. Stop the video at any point in time. Pick out what you need. Maybe another day it will be available to you. So be kind to yourself. Never put your body through anything that is painful. You might want some blocks. One of the most important things really is to have a mat that's non-slip, to have some comfortable clothing. It doesn't have to be yoga clothing, but actually blocks are very useful if your mobility is such as reaching things at the moment might be tricky, and these can be helpful. They can be helpful for popping under your knees, helpful for using in your downward dog. They're really helpful for lots of things, so do pick those up if need be. Okay, I want to start with the breath, and also coming back to, if you've seen any of the other videos, a very simple mudra, a hand gesture where we pinch our finger and thumb together. So we're going to start by really connecting ourselves to the ground and to our breath. And make yourself feel comfortable here. If cross-legged isn't, pop your legs out in front and you can rest your hands on your legs like that, okay? Whatever's available to you. We have no yoga robots here, and this isn't Instagram, and my position sometimes could be highly criticised, but yoga is not about the absolute accuracy of just the asanas, the positions. It's a whole philosophy. This isn't you have to be perfect here. Kind of, we're normal. Right, so take the finger and thumb together here like this, and I think if you've listened to other videos you might have heard me say I use this in the counselling practice and call it an anchor. Just feel the pads of your finger and your thumb. Turn your hand around so the other three fingers are pointing outwards, and gently rest your hands and your arms on your leg. Now what I'd like you to do is close down your eyes, and we're just going to ground, center ourselves by coming to the breath for some help. The breath is always with us, and it's the one thing, if we can master some form of control over, it really helps with anxiety. So we're going to be inhaling for 4 and exhaling for 4 seconds, just to find something that has a rhythm. And as you inhale, imagine you're inflating your lungs right down as if you're going down into your hips, into your belly, that you're not breathing in and upwards, but you're breathing in and out and wide and through into your back and your rib cage. So let's start to inhale for 4. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax your knees, relax your thighs. Inhale for 4. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. Keep this going. keep to your breath. Imagine those seat bones are getting heavier. Relax your shoulders. Relax the hip joints. And very slowly, if you had your eyes closed, open your eyes. Release your mudra. Shake your fingers a little. Just take your hands to the mat. I really want you to think about making your mat your safe place, but also a place where you take time for you. I know for me that when life is like going 100 miles an hour and things aren't always as they should be, if I can get myself to my mat and, even if I only get half an hour of yoga, spending that time for myself really lifts my mood. Lots of other things can lift your mood, especially with anxiety, because anxiety is a bit of a bugger. Exercise is really helpful. I've touched on it in other videos. What we feed ourselves, nutrition is really, really helpful. There's a fantastic Instagram thread that's done, I think it's called What Your Doctor Eats. And that's really interesting for very nutritious food ideas, so check that one out. Okay, now we're going to do a little bit of movement and some side stretching, because I touched on the vagus nerve. There's an awful lot of information now around polyvagal theory, and it's come about because of the understanding that we hold a lot of our emotions in our body. It's like physically held within our body. So it's not just what's going on in our head, it's what's going on in our body. And it's a bit strange, isn't it, really, because they're both connected, so why would we think they're particularly different? But they kind of inform each other. So we're going to do a little bit of side stretch to start with. It's an easy movement, I think, but it depends on how far you want to take the stretch. Never push it to a place where you're uncomfortable. So let's start off by just putting it'll be my left hand but right hand to you, and the other hand palm facing upwards on the mat. And on an inhale, we're going to bring the arm up and over our head and have a little side stretch to our body, and that means this elbow might bend. So coming up with an inhale, now you might only get to here, that's fine. And exhale. And go to the other side. Inhale for 4. And exhale. And let's do this twice more. If you need to take longer breaths, you can. And bring your hands to your knees. Now, by taking your left hand to the top of your head, just place it just above your ear here. Take a little inhale, and on the exhale, just flex your head to the side. Inhale. Exhale. And come back. And swap hands. Inhale. Exhale. And come back to neutral. Whenever we twist or we fold forward, it's normally on an exhalation. It makes sense when you think about it, because less air in our lungs, easier to twist and bend. Whenever we expand and we come up, it's normally on a nice inhale, so we can fill our lungs up. It's a sense of like, which is great. Now, another twist just to get us a little bit moving. Now take your left hand, put it on your right knee and swim the other hand behind you. Still facing at the front at the moment. Take an inhale to come up, stretching the spine, and then we're going to exhale and turn and look over our shoulder. So inhale and twist. And come back to center. And swap, let's go to the other side. Swim that hand behind. We inhale to come up and twist. Now coming out of the cross-legged position, which I think you might be grateful for if you're not sitting cross-legged all the time, I want you to come onto your knees here, hands out the front, and then take one leg, your left leg, to the side, so your toes pointing out. Now get your balance here. If you need your blocks to come up, use your blocks, but otherwise come up to this position. Now we're going to have a little stretch above our heads like we did before, but this time we're going to let our arms slide down our leg. Do not try and reach your ankles. I can't reach my ankles, especially like this is first thing in the morning for me and I'm not loosened up, so I wouldn't attempt to go as far as I would do if I've been doing a lot of yoga. The thing is, it's like the movement towards it. It's not how far you can necessarily get to. The yummy bits are in that mobility that you're exploring in your body. So with an inhale, bring your hand up above your head, and exhale to the side, and come back. And let's do this again. An inhale to come up, exhale, flex to the side, and one more. And relax, bring your knee back, come to the other side. I've got padding here because an unfortunate skiing accident, so I've got a lot of metal in this leg. So if you find it's hard on your knees, get a blanket or a prop and put that underneath and it can be helpful. Okay, so 3 to this side, so inhale, exhale, and bend and stretch. And come back to neutral. A big inhale, this time a real big stretch up. Exhale. And one more of this gate pose. And relax. Now we're going to come onto all fours, but you're going to face the top of your mat. If you've got your blocks, move them towards the top of your mat now. And starting with a simple cat-cow, untap the toes. You're going to have your hips above your knees and your shoulders above your wrists as best you can. As I said, we're not perfectionists here. Fingers on the floor, feel the little pads of your fingers. Now on an inhale, we're going to drop our belly, lift our chin and open our chest. Inhale. Exhale, pulling up, belly button towards your spine, drop your head down towards between your hands. And inhale to come up. Exhale. Okay, keep going. One more. And come to a neutral spine. Now while we're here, we're going to again have a little twist, and it's a very gentle twist. Now you do not have to go fully. In fact, just watch me first actually, which is a really good idea. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one arm out to the side as we inhale, and then we're going to come underneath the other arm and look under the arm. Now, you might only get to here, but you might get to here. The fact is that bit doesn't really matter. What matters is you're doing this and then you're doing this. So this is where the twist is, which is great for the vagus nerve, great for stimulating the calm that can induce. So let's see if we can put this together. So let's start with an inhale, hand up, exhale, coming under with your hand, look under. If your ear meets the floor, great. Gentle breathing however you need to while you're here. And coming back up to a neutral position, and the other side, inhale. And under the arm and twist. And coming back to a neutral position. Now, if this is available to you, I want you to bring your right leg forward to the front of your mat. If you're like, oh, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get there, then maybe you come up a bit and you move your leg like this, okay? So trying to keep it quite simple, but you might find that you can bring this leg forward anyway. Now, once we're here, keeping the toes untucked, just slide the knee back just a little bit and look forward. On your fingertips here, so you're looking straight ahead. Now what we're going to do is we are going to bring the toes up of the right foot and lower our head towards our knee. And then come back to the front of the mat. Let's do this 2 more times. Exhaling as you fold. Inhaling when you're up. And rest. Come back to a neutral position. You're going to untuck this toe, lift your left knee up, and then step to the front of your mat. And once you're here, just hold your arms. You're going to have a forward fold, bend the knees, have a bit of movement here. Just find your breath again. Now you might need to use your blocks to do this, or you might find that you can come back quite easily here. So we're going to this time take our right leg back and lower our knee. So here we're back into a low lunge again. Bring the knee back just a little bit if you want to feel a bit of a stretch in this. Then inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And coming back to a nice neutral spine. Tuck the toes, lift your knee and step up to the front of your mat. Now you're here, I want you to come up halfway. Come back to the mat and step back into your first downward dog. On your fingertips, if this is difficult, you can use your fist. You can also, if you find this quite hard, you can come up onto blocks. Just pedal out your downward dog. Your breathing is not going to be as full because you've got a little bend in your middle. Look under your left arm as you bend your right knee and vice versa. And then come to a place where you feel that you can become still. You're aware of using your pads of your fingers. Don't put too much weight into your wrists. Come to that place of stillness And then when you're ready, lower your knees to the floor and then lower your upper body to the floor. Now once you're here, stretch out your feet. And we're going to do 3 little baby cobras. So bring your hands under your shoulders. I want you to really feel the backs of the fronts of your feet and your hip bones, your pubic bone. And when you're ready, with an inhale, we're going to lift our head, neck and our shoulders just gently off the floor. Do not strain yourself anywhere here. Less is best. And on an inhale, coming up. Exhale, release. On an inhale, up. Exhale, release. If you can hear some little screams, that will be my 4-month-old grandchild. And release. And from here, I want you to push yourself up onto your knees and then push yourself back with your bottom coming towards your heels. And we're going to come into child's pose. So take your hands behind your back and let them drop. So your rounded shoulders. Now, sometimes people have their heads with their chin tucked in. Try and see if you can have a more of a straight neck here. So you're going to be balancing your forehead on the mat. And let's just find that breath again. And grounded. Anxiety really is unwanted at times. Most times really, unless we're being chased by a tiger. We have a few tools in our toolbox, which with my counselling clients I will talk through and help them practice these. One of those tools is yoga. There's quite a lot of evidence now to prove that it's very effective in altering mood in a positive way. Okay, very slowly maintaining that sense of ease and contact with the ground. Bring your hands either side of your ears. Just press yourself up and come onto your bottom. Bring yourself to your mat again. And lower yourself to the floor. Your arms out to the side. And we're going to do a reclined twist to the right, so our legs are going to go to the right. I want you to look to the left. And inhale. Exhale. Drop the legs to the right. Inhale to come up. Look centrally. Exhale, look to the right, legs to the left. And 2 more. And back to neutral. I suddenly heard a weird noise that interrupted my flow, and I just realised it's the dustbin men. Okay, bring your hands back out of their position to the side, and now I want you to bring your knees up and see if you can take hold of your ankles here into what is known as happy baby. Now you might only get to your knees, which is fine. You might get to your feet, which is even better, but find a position that's really comfortable for you. And let's just stay here for 2 rounds of our breath. It's not a nice noise, is it? And very slowly and gently allowing your legs to come back to the ground, feeling your toes on the ground there. I think my local council needs to oil their bin lorries because that's really quite an unpleasant sound, I imagine, for the people having to drive the lorry. Okay, now I want you to let your legs drift out in front of you and drop your hands down by your sides, palms uppermost. Now I'm going to talk you through a little relaxation, and then there will be a period of silence, and then when you hear the sound of a little dong, you know it's time to very, very gently come up and back to a seated position. But for now, if you can, gently close your eyes, or at least half close your eyes if you feel that's more suitable. Starting with your eyes, and feel heavy. Relax your jaw. Relax your tongue in your mouth. Relax your shoulders down. Can you feel the earth beneath you? Make your arms really heavy and close to the floor. Fingers soft and loose. When you become practice at this, you realise that you can kind of escape the noises that are going on outside and tap into your breath, tap into your body, feel your body. We can't have perfect situations of which to relax into. I can hear my grandchild, I can hear the bin lorry. But I'm on my mat, I'm going to make the most of that. Checking in on my relaxing my chest. Am I allowing my back to really be heavy and contact the mat? So relaxing through your torso, through your hips and your thighs. Make sure you're allowing your feet to drop to the side. Your calves can feel the floor. Just imagine a very warm wave is coming over your body from the tip of your head, down your shoulders, your torso, your arms, your fingers, your pelvis, your thighs, your knees, your calves, your ankles, your feet, your toes. Imagine a beautiful golden sunset. You're lying on the warm sand. Right now, right in this moment, everything is exactly how it needs to be. take your time to come back into the room. First of all, come onto your side. Take a little bit of time here before you come upright. And come back into your seated position. For a longer relaxation and Savasana that is guided, then do check out the link to a guided relaxation. I'll try and make sure there isn't a bin lorry and a young child in that one. But that said, it is really important, if we're going to get a handle on anxiety, that we learn how to keep the other stuff out. It'd be lovely if the world was all balanced for us to balance ourselves in, but that's not going to happen. Okay, so if you're in a busy office and you want to get hold of your anxiety and you want to tap in to some of the tools that we've been talking about and tap into your breath, etc., then you can't ask the office to be quiet. One of the things that's really, really helpful in yoga is to be able to learn how to be in that space. So for some people that is really becoming very familiar with meditation techniques. But actually I just think sometimes it's just practicing being where you are, tapping into listening to your breath, feeling what's going on in your body, realising if your muscles are relaxed or tight. So it's your focus on where it needs to be that's really helpful. So I hope to see you again back on the mat, but until then, have a lovely day. And this anxiety doesn't have to govern you. Remember that. Take care.